Hey everyone, we are going to work on pages 168 and 169 in your Grammar 2 work text. So please turn to page 168. Our topic today is recognizing proper adjectives. A proper adjective is a word that's formed from a proper noun that, like a proper noun, begins with a capital letter. So we're dealing with proper names: America, Alaska, Susan. These are proper nouns, and proper adjectives would be American flag, Alaskan salmon, Susan's recipe. So they are similar to proper nouns, except they function as adjectives. They describe the noun in terms of a proper, or they describe a different noun in terms of a proper noun. So American flag. Our first exercise, it says underline all the proper nouns and circle all the proper adjectives. Doesn't take much of explanation here. Doesn't take much explanation here. We can just look for the capital words and then determine if they are proper nouns or proper adjectives. So circle them if they're nouns, and then underline if they're nouns, circle if they're adjectives. Tally visited. So tally is a proper noun. So we underline that. Visited, the Roman capital. Roman describes capital. So we circle proper adjectives. Italy, when she was in Italy. Object of preposition, we underline it because objects of prepositions are always nouns. You gonna do one more? Let's do one more. That was too easy. Do you think Jason, that's a person, that's a noun, prefers Italian pasta or American hamburgers? Italian describes pasta. What kind of pasta? What kind of hamburgers? American hamburgers. Now you do the rest of those. Write 5 original sentences containing proper adjectives. Circle the proper adjectives in your sentence. Okay, so you're looking for just the adjectives for these sentences. So let's come up with what? How about English muffin? I like that one. So for breakfast, I ate an English muffin. Period. Brilliant sentence there. So you guys do 4 more of those. Turn the page, page 169. Something new. We distinguishing adjectives from nouns and pronouns. The following kinds of words, which may normally be called nouns or pronouns, can function as adjectives. All right. So nouns, for example, would be Richard's report card, Madison's solo, Christmas dinner, car race. They're functioning as adjectives, even though they're typically nouns. All of those words would be nouns, basically would be nouns. Now here's some examples of possessive pronouns that normally are possessive pronouns, but they're going to be functioning in these examples as adjectives. My book. Whose book? My book. Her desk. Whose desk? Her desk. His dog. Whose dog? His dog. Their minivan. Whose minivan? Their minivan. Remember that adjectives answer the questions: which one, what kind, how many, how much, and whose. And when you're dealing with whose, you're usually dealing with possessive words, possessive nouns functioning as adjectives. Now we got demonstrative. Remember, demonstrative pronouns are pronouns that you use when you're demonstrating something. This pen, I'm showing it to. I'm demonstrating this pencil. I'm demonstrating this pencil. I call it this because that's the word that I use when I'm doing a demonstration of a pencil. Here's this pencil. I'm not talking about that one that's over there, that pencil, but that's still demonstrative. This and that are demonstrative pronouns. Okay? Those pencils I don't like those pencils. I like these pencils, you know. These are mine. Those, someone left them here. Those are demonstrative pronouns. And so this, that, these, and those are, in this example, are describing a computer. Whose computer? That computer. Whose monitor? This monitor. Who? Which maps? Those maps. Which one? What kind? How many? How much? And whose? Okay. And then indefinite pronouns. These are the ones we're not sure which ones necessarily we're talking about. We're just talking about these items in a general sense, and they're represented in these indefinite pronouns, but they don't have names. You don't know specifically which one. Like each teacher. We're not talking about Mr. Walthall, Mr. Jamie, Miss Evans. We're talking about any or each teacher that's there, whoever that is. That makes it indefinite. If it were definite, we'd be talking about Mr. Walthall, Miss Evans, Mr. Jamie. But since it's indefinite, we just say each because we don't know who that's going to include. Either choice. You've got two of them. It doesn't matter which one, either one will do. Most home runs, most, not all, not one, more than half is most. But the thing that makes that I guess helps us understand that better is that you don't really know which home runs are included in the most. Say there's 100 home runs. Most of them were hit at right field. Well, that's unusual. We don't know if it were 20 of them. We don't know if it was the first one, the second one, the fourth one, the ninth one, the 21st one. We don't know. We just know that it's more than half, most. And then few, very few. So of all the home runs, only a few of them were hit to left field. Or he has very few pins. That means he's got a small number, but we don't know exactly how many. That makes it indefinite. Indefinite. Okay. So now you cannot tell the next part. You cannot tell what part of speech a word is until you determine its function in a sentence. That makes sense. You got to know how it's being used before you can determine which part of speech it is. Leah set the volleyball for the hitter. Okay. So Leah is a noun in this case. Leah's grades are very good. Leah is part of an adjective describing grades in this case. We've got other examples. Carrie took the bus to work. That's a noun. Bus is a noun. The bus's fumes made Jeremiah cough. The bus, whose fumes? Which fumes? The bus's fumes. It answers which one, and therefore it's an adjective there. And we've got more examples of that. Okay, let's look at the first one. Exercise A, identify the part of speech of each italicized word as noun, pronoun, or adjective. Let's look at the first item. The first cell phone call was made on April 3rd, 1973. Well, what's the subject of this sentence? It's call. Verb is was made, and then there is no complement. It would be a direct object if there was one, but all that's left is this prepositional phrase. So cell phone is being used to describe the call. So cell phone is an adjective here. Let's do one more. That first mobile phone had a battery life of only 22 minutes, and the phone weighed almost 2.5 pounds. I think I had that one. I don't know, not that one in particular, the first model, but we did have one that was in a bag. It actually was the bag phone. It was about this big, had a handle. You unzip the bag and pulled the receiver out, and the receiver had a coiled wire that went to the box inside the bag, and you called on that. So anyway. That, which one, what kind, how many, how much, and whose, that mobile phone, that is an adjective as well. Which phone call? That. Well, you'll know how to find the nouns. Okay, so you've got 8 more of those to do, and that's all. All right. So you can complete that work and get it turned in on your assignment. And I will see you next time. Thank you very much.